Hey, what's going on, chess lovers? This is Maurice Bishop Chess. Y'all know my slogan, life is a game of chess. Hey guys, I have this beautiful game I want to share with you with the Elshad system that I played with White. But also, guys, I have a new technique that I actually had a chance to try. The way the position was set up in the beginning of the game, I actually had this position played on me twice. This game that I'm showing you is the third time that is being played. But luckily, the second game that the same on the second game, the same setup that I just had on the third game, I was actually prepared this time for it, and I found out the best move and some tactical ideas and everything, and I just want to share that with y'all. Obviously, guys, I played as white. My opponent played as black. He was a 2404 rated player, so definitely strong too. So, oh, excuse me, guys. So without further ado, let's actually get started. I played C3. He played B6, and guys, this is what I normally get from strong players. They play B6. So I try to get out of their book by playing, or I try to take them out their book by playing Queen A4. This is why I like the L side. Bishop B7. Obviously, guys, I cannot play G4 right away due to obviously the bishop will take my rook. So I just played knight F3. G6 is played, and then guys, and I know the engine is not even saying none of this stuff. It's just saying E4 and D3, D4. But I just played G4, guys. I played G4 right away. Bishop G7, I played H4, and then this is when my opponent played H5. Um, I used to always think like what opening I do better in, like not what opening, like in other words, like do I take the pawn on H5 or do I push G5? And I played the G catches H5, and yes, I've won a lot of games with G catches H5, but I also won a lot of games with G5. But I always felt like what would be more comfortable with me, of more and things like that, especially if I was playing this in a tournament. I came to the conclusion, guys, that I think I like G5. And the crazy part, G5 is literally the last alternative move, which is it doesn't really gives it that great of a score, but I like G5. So I played G5, and my opponent played knight C6. And of course, the engine is always talking about white needs to go in the center of the board and all that, but I didn't do none of that. I didn't play that. I just played D3. Literally, I just played D3. I wanted my setup with the knight D2 and then bishop G2 and then knight F1 and knight G3. That's usually my setup. But my opponent played a move, the knight E5 move, and this is the move that I'm actually talking about, guys. This knight E5 move. This whole setup was played on me twice, but obviously this is the third time that it's played on me. But the second time that I play, I actually analyzed this and realized that okay, what can white do in this type of position? What can I do? And it looks like by him playing knight e5, he literally wants me to take knight catches e5 and then take my rook. But little does he know that knight catches e5 is the best move for white because white do get a lot of play in this position. So, again, guys, this you ain't gonna find us in no Elshad system book or none of that, guys. So this is the stuff me, a lot of analyzing and stuff. But I realized that knight catches e5 is a good move, which is what I played. Before, guys, it's the twice that this was played on me. I've never played knight catches e5, but this time, after analysis, I finally did knight catches e5, and I'm just glad that I have this game. But he actually takes my rook, and then I played a brilliant move on Queen F4. And the crazy part, the engine actually gave me the brilliant move mark. The reason why for Queen F4, the reason why it's so strong, because obviously, guys, I am threatening Queen F7 checkmate. Of course, guys, he can give up more material, but of course, guys, not only do I have the knight, but if I win another minor piece, that will be two minor pieces for the rook that black just got, right? Um, and then, guys, I was also thinking, okay, what if black decides to save his light square bishop because the next move is f3. That's what I want to play on the next move. So if the light square bishop does play something like bishop d5, then white does have this beautiful move on bishop h3, in which bishop captures d7 is the threat. Uh, and obviously, guys, this is like pretty strong, guys. If e6, obviously, guys, the pawn will block the bishop from guarding this f7 pawn, which this will be checkmate. Another idea, guys, if bishop decides to take on the knight, then the queen can actually capture the bishop, whereas white is hitting the rook on h8 and also hitting the light square bishop on d5. And then, of course, guys, I pretty much will be pretty much up a piece, pretty much. Um, so so yeah, guys. So that's one way, and then another idea, guys, is obviously again I am hitting this pawn on d7. So if d6 is played, white does have to move bishop d7. Obviously, the queen will literally is forced to take the bishop. Why is he forced? Because after king f8, that would be a blunder because knight capture g6 is checkmate. This was nasty, and guys, I was literally ready for all of this. I was just ready for black to play bishop d5. I really wanted him to play it so bad, but he didn't play it. The move that he actually did play was knight f6. He played knight f6. I go f3. I don't take the knight right away. I block the light square bishop because I definitely want the light square bishop. Why? Because if I take the light square bishop, I can create light square weaknesses for the black king. So after f3, black castle kingside. I take the knight off on f6. He takes e captures f6, and I go knight c4. Now you're probably wondering, okay, why knight c4? Well, obviously, guys, that's literally the only square that I could go to. I can't go knight g4 because they'll take. So the only square I could really go to is knight c4. All right. So after d5 is played, I go knight c to d2. And obviously, I don't want to go knight e3. I mean, that's not ideal. That's not the move I want to do. Knight d2 is just better. And then also, guys, after queen h2, I can because I'm pretty sure black is going to try to take a pawn because he knows that this light square bishop is going to be lost. So obviously he's going to take the f3 pawn later on. But my opponent goes king h7. I go queen h2. Obviously, he takes the pawn, and then I go knight captures f3. All right, so c5 is played, and then I played bishop f4. Obviously, guys, I wanted to develop and everything, but also, guys, I want to be able to get this knight out, and then maybe cancel queen side, and then try to start some type of attack on the king. My opponent played rook e8, obviously, guys, which is the right move. I mean, he's trying to get the e file and everything. Not a problem. I go knight b to d2. My opponent played queen d7. Again, just trying to get some fouls in, trying to do what he do. I castle queen side. My opponent played b5. Now, the thing is, guys, I feel as though that I kind of made a mistake. I don't even think castle queen side was even... Yeah, castle and queen side is not even in the lines. Um, King f2 was actually the second part of the line, or maybe a2 to a4. That would have been an ideal move. But I actually castled queen side, and I think black had a slightly edge with queen a4. He is attacking the pawn on a2, but I mean, I do have a3 moves and stuff, but I would say, I mean, I think white is still good. I mean, I really believe white is still good in this position, but it does make me a little bit uncomfortable or whatever. But I think white is fine in his position. Um, but I don't. But I kind of felt like in my heart that castle queen side wasn't the right move. But now it kind of really doesn't matter because he actually blocks it. He actually goes b5. So I was like, okay, I should be fine after that. So I played bishop h3. I played this again. This bishop on f1 is not doing anything, and I needed to put it on some type of active square. And also, I was kind of hoping that with this bishop h3 move, I was hoping that black would try to block by going f5, but of course this leaves a hole for the black king on the g5 square where I could go knight g5 and then really cause some stuff. Um, so queen c6 is played, and I play e4. Again, I'm trying to create more open files, or at least open up the e file. And probably that was kind of like maybe inaccuracy. I don't even think e4. Okay, so e4 was, yeah. So e4 is part of the line. Okay, so it's one of the lines. So yeah. So I play e4. B4 is played, and then I just play c catches b4, and I kind of played that real quick because again, I wasn't afraid of the rook going to c8 because I do have the bishop here, so I could just take the rook off if I need to. So after he took, I just go king b2. D catchers e4, and then I go rook c1 first. Because again, I wanted to control the c file, and again, I truly believe that when you have the c file, you want to put much control on the c file as possible. And plus, guys, I am attacking the queen too, so again, that's still great too. But I wanted to make sure that the c file is mine. So obviously, the bishop is controlling that c8 square, and so is the rook. So it's not like the rook can just come to c8 right away. So I think white is fine. So this is another technique that y'all can actually use. You know, if a piece is taken or material is taken, and you see a C file, definitely control it. You already, like for instance, like I already have my bishop controlling this square, so I wanted to add more to it by bringing the rook in. So the queen comes there on the queen a6 because obviously he sees that I am controlling the c8 or the c file, but now he adds to the square. So obviously this is one rook going to this square, one rook coming to this square, and another rook going to this square. So he has three pieces defending that square, whereas I only have two pieces controlling that square. So um, yeah. So I just go d captures d4. He goes queen d3 check, and then I go rook c2. I didn't want to go. Um, I mean, I just think rook c2 is good because again, I don't have to worry about any c8 moves or things like that. I don't have to worry about that. And then also, guys, I do have knight e1 as well. If he tries to do any tactical stuff, but I had it all down pat. B3 is played. I go A catches B3. I just think he was just trying to open my king side even more, or my queen side even more, just in general. He goes A5, and I go queen G3. He goes king G8, and then I play bishop F1. I think the bishop on H3 was already done, or whatever was done doing what he needs to do, and because the king is on G8, I was definitely looking at bishop C4 because again I do have alternatives where I could go queen capture G6 and then bishop H6. So I have a lot of ideas with that. So my opponent played queen d7, and then of course, guys, I still have the c file, so I wanted to make it official, which is why I go rook c7, queen d8, and then I go bishop c4. Again, guys, I'm looking at queen captures g6, and then bishop a6, which is something that I'm looking at. My opponent does play rook f8, and I'm not really sure why. Honestly, guys, I don't even know why I didn't do it or whatever. Actually, I know why I didn't play Queen Capture G6. The reason why I didn't play Queen Capture G6, guys, is actually because of Queen D3 check. I think that's the reason why I didn't play it. Because the thing is, if I decide to take the bishop, then of course, um, black can actually take my light square bishop. But then again, I'm also looking at the fact that I technically don't have to take the dark, light or the queen. But in a way, it doesn't really matter because even after, let's say, King A1, he can just go Queen capture C4. Um, and then, I mean, obviously, guys, I would have to take, and then of course he'll take my queen. So that's the reason why I didn't play the queen captures G6. And plus, I didn't want to exchange queens because I feel like I'm attacking. I'm doing pretty well with it. So that's the reason why I didn't go queen captures G6. So that's why I go bishop D6. I go bishop D6, hitting the rook, and of course, guys, I definitely prevent black from coming to the D3 square if I go queen captures G6. A4 is played, and I go bishop captures F8, and I just figure Why not? But then also, guys, I did have another move, Queen captures on G6. I think this was actually pretty strong too. Even if Queen captures on D6, Rook catches F7 is pretty strong. I believe. But I just did Bishop captures F8. I just thought that was just better a better move. But yeah, after Bishop D6, A4, Bishop catches F8, Queen catches C7. Obviously, guys, um, I mean, what you gonna do? I mean, if he goes Bishop catches F8, I am threatening Queen catches G6 check. And if King H8, then I do have to move Rook catches F7, in which this mate is inevitable. Like, there's no way he could stop it. Which is why my opponent, after the Bishop catches F8, he goes Queen catches C7 because obviously, he was trying to prevent the mate. So I just go Queen catches C7. Rook catches F8, and then Knight D4, King H7, and Bishop catches F7. King H6, and then I played Knight E6. I was told that was an inaccuracy. The best move, from what I was told from the analysis, was Knight F5. In which I'm not really sure why. Okay, I do see why. Queen F4 check, and then King H7, Queen catches F5 check. Okay, that was actually a pretty nice. That was actually a nice move. Actually, that was a quicker move, to be honest with you. Yeah, if King H6, this is mate. Um, yeah, if H8, Queen captures Bishop A6, and that's his mate. That was actually a pretty nice mate. I didn't see that one, but that was pretty nice. Yeah. So the move that I played after Bishop captures E6, I just played Knight E6. So that was the one that I played. He goes Rook C8. I take G5, and I just go Queen G8. And then after Bishop F8, I just go G6 mate. So that's what I did. Uh, but yeah, guys. But all this started after this. In the beginning of the game, A4, Knight F3, G4, G7, H4, and then H5, and then after G5, guys, Knight C6, D3, and then Knight E5. I think Knight E5, guys, is definitely it's definitely awesome, or Knight E5, but if you ever get a position like this, guys, again, Knight catches E5 is definitely the best move. It definitely has a lot of tactical stuff with it, which is what I like. But I also believe that after the Knight catches E5, when Black takes the Rook, you definitely get a lot of compensation for that Rook, especially after this Queen F4 move. I just think it's beautiful. Even if, guys, Bishop catches E5. White still has Queen catches E5 hitting the Rook. Uh, like I already told y'all before. So it doesn't really matter. The next move is going to be F3. Obviously, F6 takes. The pawn can't take due to the queen is pinning the pawn. So knight captures, and then F3. So we pretty much get two pieces for the Rook. Two minor pieces for the Rook, and I think White has great compensation for it. I think White has an advantage, especially since this light square bishop is going to be lost, and then White can actually create light square weaknesses in Black's king. Um, so that's personally for me. So, guys, I actually hope you actually enjoy this game and my analysis. I hope I broke it down to you, Barney style and everything. So, if you like this video, definitely like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. And also, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All right, guys. Peace.